A new era is emerging in America. Stiffer competition from around the globe demands we change the way we do business. No other place in America is better equipped with the resources and talent or more committed to take on this challenge than the city of Detroit, a city with a long history for rolling up its sleeves and getting the job done. Detroit means business, all right. As the automotive capital of the world, the city is home to the world's largest single industry. But for those who do business here, Detroit is more than the Motor City. It's a great manufacturing center with the skill, know-how, and resources to make it one of the leading producers of business machines, paint, and food products. A place where beer lovers will find the home of Stroh's, and where snack lovers will discover that more potato chips are made here than anywhere else in the world. As the nation's largest producer of business and industrial films and video discs, Detroit is often called the Hollywood of the Midwest. Detroit is a major international center for those who want to market ideas, goods, and services. In addition to 14 of the nation's top Fortune 500 companies located in the area, some 162 foreign-based companies representing 14 countries have investments in Metro Detroit. An international center, a leading banking center as well, with deposits in the neighborhood of $20 billion. Convention and tourism is big business in Detroit. With its convenient location, outstanding hotel and exhibition facilities, and nationally known tourist attractions, Detroit draws more convention business than such glamour spots as Las Vegas and Miami Beach. The symbol for Detroit's remarkable rebirth proudly towers over the city's riverfront. It's aptly called Renaissance Center, and its gleaming 73-story hotel, the tallest in the world, and its 4 39-story office towers represent a $350 million investment in Detroit's future. The idea for Renaissance Center began a decade ago as one man's dream to create a catalyst for revitalizing the central city of Detroit. His name is Henry Ford II. Through his determination and persistence, he convinced 51 other companies to join with his dream, which became the largest private commercial development ever undertaken in the United States. The success of Renaissance Center has been formidable. Teamed with the $30 million Hart Plaza, designed by Isamu Noguchi, it has created a riverfront attraction that draws millions of visitors and Detroiters alike to see the sights, shop in the stores, and enjoy the numerous events throughout the year. There's no better example of Renaissance Center's success than the 1980 Republican Convention. Thousands of delegates, party officials, and media people became true believers in the city's future, and Detroit's Renaissance story spread nationwide. The initial success of Renaissance Center has sparked completion of Phase 2, a joint venture of the Rockefeller Center Corporation and Ford Motor Land Development. These shining new office towers represent a $70 million investment in New Detroit. While Renaissance Center provides the needed catalyst for the city's revitalization, it's been the strong leadership of Mayor Coleman A. Young in creating a coalition of Detroit's top business, labor, government, and community leaders that's been the key in moving the Renaissance forward.
We in the city of Detroit realized a long time ago that if we are to prosper in the future, government and business cannot afford to look upon each other as enemies. I've made a commitment as mayor to bring the private sector, that is both labor and business, together with government in order to guarantee our mutual future growth and prosperity. Our major role in this public-private partnership is to provide the proper atmosphere for doing business. That means cutting through the red tape, providing financial leverage, technical assistance, whatever it takes to get the job done. No other city in America tries harder. Take it from me, Detroit means business.
Detroit Renaissance is a coalition of the city's top business leaders and is a sophisticated partnership of Detroit's public and private sectors. It is supported by many major corporations and is committed to expanding Detroit's economic base. Industrialist and financier Max Fisher.
In 1970, 26 community leaders got together with the mayor and the governor to form what is called the Detroit Renaissance, an organization devoted to revitalizing the economic sector of the city of Detroit. I was proud to be picked as the chairman of that group. And I'm also proud of the fact of the accomplishments of Detroit Renaissance in the past 11 years. I personally feel this is a model that should be adopted in most communities throughout the country of a combination of the private and the political sectors in trying to work out the problems of the community. Our success speaks well for the effort that we've put forth to date, and also speaks well for a sound economic future for the city of Detroit.
Many of the chief executive officers involved in Detroit Renaissance also sit with the mayor on the board of the city's Economic Growth Corporation, which provides expert financial and technical assistance to companies wanting to do business here. The staff of the Economic Growth Corporation serves the city's two quasi-public development agencies, the Downtown Development Authority and the Economic Development Corporation. The Growth Corporation acts as an extension of the city's Community and Economic Development Department, which has overall responsibility for coordinating the development of Detroit's Renaissance. Since the completion of Renaissance Center, this private-public partnership has attracted and facilitated more than $2 billion in private development monies. Additionally, the city contributed millions of dollars in loans, grants, and tax incentives, which provided financial leverage to those investments. One of the newly completed commercial developments is Trolley Plaza, located in the rejuvenated Washington Boulevard area of the city. This $30 million high-rise is one of the many new residential developments underway in downtown Detroit. The vice president of the Cleveland-based Forest City Dillon, developers of the project, is Ron Ratner.
Our company is a major developer of real estate on a national level. In the case of this particular project, we chose to develop a building in the city of Detroit, and we did so for a number of reasons. First of all, of course, we reviewed the normal economic considerations that you would in undertaking any major project. But then the catalyst that really got us going on this specific building in Detroit was the fact that we felt we could create a true partnership with the city, and that the city had the talent and the skills and the willingness to really carry forth their end of that bargain. The project really began a number of years ago when we presented a specific proposal to the city. They were willing to accept that proposal, and from that point we developed a working paper that described the relationship between ourselves as the private sector and the city as the public sector. Working together with the city, we were able to respond to the changes in political climate, to the changes in economic climate, and to achieve, in fact, a very, very successful building. This project was then built in approximately a year's time, and it took only 6 months to achieve a 90% occupancy. This, for a pioneering effort in a new residential market, in fact, for any effort in any residential market, that's a remarkable record.
Trolley Plaza is just one example of Detroit's downtown resurgence as a place in which to live, work, and shop. Encouraged by the success of its Trolley Plaza development, Forest City has teamed with a local developer to take on an even more ambitious project. The $85 million Millender Center complex will be located across from the Renaissance Center, and it'll contain 315 luxury apartments, a 250-unit hotel, plus 40,000 square feet of retail shops and services. Trappers Alley is in the heart of downtown's colorful Greektown, a $6.5 million renovation of a century-old structure built during the city's fur trading days. This multi-level development will provide a unique blend of restaurants, specialty shops, and entertainment. The chairwoman of the board of AmeriCal Development Corporation, developers of Trappers Alley, is Esther Edwards.
Well, Trappers Alley represented a tremendous opportunity to creatively recycle an historic treasure into something that was really unique and exciting. There are a lot of other historic buildings in Detroit that offer the same potential for redevelopment. All it's going to take is a little money and imagination to really make it work.
Detroit's Riverfront is a tremendous amenity, and several major developers are taking advantage of its great potential. West of the new Joe Louis Arena is the site of the multi-million-dollar Riverfront West project. Headed by financier Max Fisher and nationally known developer Alfred Taubman, this multi-use complex consists of luxury apartments, condominiums, a $100 million hotel, plus a marina, clubhouse, and more. Inspired by developments along the riverfront, Stroh's and American Natural Resources have plans underway to transform the riverfront east of Renaissance Center into multi-million-dollar complexes for both commercial and residential use. Supporting these plans will be a series of beautiful parks, public walkways, and bicycle paths developed by the city's recreation department. The rebirth of downtown Detroit is an assured reality, a revitalized center for living, working, and entertainment. To stimulate downtown business activity and help people move around more conveniently, an elevated urban transport system is scheduled for construction soon. Detroit's renaissance extends well beyond the central business district. Just north of downtown, in the new center area, more than $150 million worth of development is taking place. Adjacent to the world-famous Fisher Building, General Motors and the Canadian-based Trisec Corporation have teamed to build this $50 million complex that includes 6 stories of deluxe office space above 2 levels of shops and restaurants. And in a 6-block area just north of New Center, General Motors is giving leadership to the New Center Development Partnership, which is investing some $20 million in Detroit's neighborhood renaissance. In 1981 alone, the city broke ground for or completed work on a record 5,300 units. But new housing and new neighborhoods won't last without jobs to pay for them. There's no better example of what the city can do to create jobs and assist industry than the Central Industrial Park project. The assignment? Help General Motors replace its outdated Cadillac assembly plant by assisting them in building a brand new $500 million facility for production of its 1985 model. The new plant, one of the largest to date for General Motors, is a showcase facility second to none. The city's challenge: to locate and provide a massive construction site in the heart of the city. Never in recent history has anyone attempted to put together such a large industrial package within the central city, all in 18 months. A site of nearly 500 acres was selected, encompassing an outdated Chrysler assembly plant and older neighborhood bordering Detroit and the city of Hamtramck. To meet GM's crucial completion date for the facility, the real challenge was acquiring and clearing the land, a difficult task that involved the acquisition of 1,600 separate properties. In all, a coalition of some 60 federal, state, and local agencies became involved, from the County Road Commission to the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. To help finance the acquisition and clearance cost, the coalition obtained $200 million in local, state, and federal funding. And Detroit once again shows the world that it means business. Roger Smith, board chairman of General Motors.
Well, I think Detroit's handling of the Central Industrial Park project was really superb. They brought together literally hundreds of the little agencies, communities, all involved, all the people from the various parts of government, did it all together, well coordinated. They did it on time and did it within their budget. And I guess that's the thing that appeals to me as a businessman, to see a city government that can really deliver.
Detroit's expertise and willingness to help big corporations also extends to smaller companies. If it means jobs, the city will help whenever it can. Adams Industries, a firm engaged in building economical light aircraft, recently located here from California, and the city was there to help. President John Adams.
We looked at cities all over the United States to determine where we should locate our light aircraft manufacturing facility, and Detroit was our unanimous choice. People frequently consider Detroit the automotive capital of the world, whereas in reality we consider it the manufacturing capital of the world. We taught the world how to mass produce. Within 5 miles of my office, I can get competitive bids on any kind of a component that I might need for the aircraft. In addition to that, Detroit has an abundance of skilled labor, already embodied with the traditional American work ethic, which allowed us to enter into a full productive mode in record time.
As far as the city of Detroit is concerned, it was the mayor's office and the Community and Economic Development Department that made such a tremendous difference. They located a facility for us and gave us a terrific deal on the leasing arrangements. In addition, they introduced us to the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, who helped us with our major loan with the U.S. Department of Commerce. The Community and Economic Development Department also introduced us to the Aeromechanical High School. They set up a special course to train our students in the skills they would need for light aircraft manufacturing. I'm sold on Detroit and what it can do for a small businessman.
Adams Industries made a good choice by selecting Detroit as a home base. An added bonus for the firm is the fact that it's located in one of the top 10 richest markets in the country. So a great many of those airplanes will be purchased right where they're made. Detroit also means business as a great place to market goods and services, whether to consumers or industry. The Detroit area ranks 4th among major cities in total spendable income. And with more than 2,500 manufacturing firms in the area, there are tremendous opportunities for marketing all kinds of goods and services. Detroit's strategic location in the Great Lakes industrial region also provides close access to other big markets. Within a 500-mile radius is about half of the nation's population and more than half of its disposable income. This 5-state region alone accounts for more than 1/4 of the nation's manufacturing employment and shipments. Extend 500 miles into neighboring Canada, and you're within an area that accounts for 65% of that country's gross national product. Detroit's superb transportation network is unequaled in its ability to bring in raw materials and manufacturing components and distribute the finished products throughout the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. As the automotive capital, Detroit has designed and built the finest freeway system in the world, consisting of 6 toll-free routes. Detroit can help keep transportation costs down. Nearly half of the nation's businesses can be reached by truck within 24 hours, and there are 46 motor freight companies in the city to get the job done. Detroit's rail service is exceptional. There are 6 major lines strategically located throughout the city's industrial corridors and along the riverfront. Commuter and long-distance passenger service is also available. 3 major airports are within the Detroit area. Detroit Metropolitan is a major international airport with direct flights to Europe. And City Airport makes freight and passenger service available within the central city. The Detroit River is a tremendous asset for international shipping. And the Port of Detroit offers outstanding facilities. It's the only port with 3 alternatives for international shipping: the St. Lawrence Seaway, the Canadian Land Bridge to Halifax, and direct rail to East, West, and Gulf Coast ports. A 5-acre general foreign trade zone has recently been established at the port, and this can make it more profitable for a company to manufacture, assemble, or warehouse goods in the United States by allowing firms to defer or often avoid duty payments. Superb transportation, just one major resource of Detroit's well-established infrastructure. Plenty of dependable energy is another of the city's strong suits. Unlike many other cities, Detroit has never had a brownout or water shortage. The city's ample supply of electricity more than meets the demands of business now and will in the future. Detroit Edison has 3 new power generating plants underway or planned for the near future. And 90% of that electricity will be generated from coal, our nation's most abundant and lowest cost fossil fuel. Detroit also has never had a major shortage of another important energy source: natural gas. American Natural Resources, headquartered in Detroit, has 10,000 miles of pipeline and one of the best supplies in the nation. And newly found natural gas reserves in the upper part of Michigan make near-term supplies even more optimistic. Detroit is located near the world's largest supply of fresh water. It can be purchased cheaply and used more abundantly than anywhere else in the world. The city's water plant, for example, can pump more than 1.5 billion gallons per day. That's enough to supply more than 1.5 quarts to every person on Earth every day. But the city's #1 resource is people, skilled people. Together, they make up one of the most technically advanced labor pools in the world. 3 out of every 10 workers are either craftsmen, technicians, or professionals with a wide diversity of skills and expertise. If you need people with the know-how and willingness to get the job done right, Detroit is the place. The president of the United Auto Workers is Doug Fraser.
Detroit has a talented and skilled workforce that can adapt to any sort of product line. It's an innovative workforce. And it's a workforce that is noted for its high level of productivity. Increased productivity in our industries in Detroit far exceed the national average and have for the last 2 decades. In relationship with management, I think both sides have learned to compromise. We've had a lot of adversity in this community in the last few years, but that adversity has taught us to look at the other side's point of view. We understand the company's problems, and they understand ours better than we ever have in the past.
A wealth of educational and technical training institutions in and around Detroit is good reason why the city's labor force will continue to have the skills and know-how to meet future business needs. In all, within an hour-and-a-half's drive of Detroit, there are 15 junior and community colleges, as well as 19 major universities and colleges, including Wayne State University, with its excellent medical school, Michigan State University, and the University of Michigan, one of the nation's top 10 rated schools. To provide vocational and technical training, there are also many well-established trade and technical schools in the area. Detroit public schools are placing increased emphasis on vocational training and are implementing a multi-million-dollar program to establish 5 vocational schools for teaching skills in areas such as electronics, medical technology, food preparation, and construction. Detroit is a natural for high-tech growth industries, especially when it comes to computerized applications for manufacturing, telecommunications, energy development, and industrial automation like assembly line robotics. Detroit also means business in medical technology, where its comprehensive healthcare institutions and outstanding record in medical research are known worldwide. In the heart of the city is the 230-acre Detroit Medical Center, where just about every possible form of medical treatment and major breakthroughs in medical research are ongoing. Detroit is ready for growth, and so are its people who enjoy living in a city blessed with a wide variety of beautiful neighborhoods. Affordable prices is one reason why about 80% of Detroiters own their homes. Detroit, a great city to work and live in, a great city to take pleasure in as well. Whether it's listening to a world-class symphony or the vibrant city sounds of jazz, whether it's elegant dining in a downtown night spot or fishing for your own dinner on a lazy afternoon, whether it's cheering your hometown team to victory or contemplating great artworks from across the world, Detroit is alive and busting out with things to do every day, every night of the week. Don't take our word for it. Come, see for yourself, and take part in what Renaissance Detroit offers.